Aloha. Welcome to Just Talking 24, page 79. Um, this week I'm taping it on July the 5th, Sunday, and which is very late for me. Usually I like to get my recording earlier in the week, but I had to wait for the July 4th birthday. Happy birthday, America. 250 years. But I had to wait until everything settled to really gather my thoughts on this. Because the word that came up this week is unappreciative. Um, the added, the added, well, the adage that people use is bite the hand that feeds you. And did you know that? And I want to thank the committee that planned this 250 birthday party or celebration at our nation's capital. The fireworks show was unreal. It was superb. It was the best I've ever seen. It is one for the books. And I like the music. The music was a good cross reference of contemporary American music. From Earth, Wind, and Fire, Chicago. They had country western. They had the YMCA from the Village People. It was just a good cross, upbeat. Everything was upbeat, upbeat. I liked that, and they had a lot of new fireworks that I never seen before. The helicopter ones, those are really cool. But anyway, and I'd like to thank C-SPAN. And this is where I derived unappreciative. C-SPAN was the only network that carried the entire show. Now, 250 years is nothing to sneeze at. That is unheard of in a federal republic. That is unheard of in almost any type of not voluntary, but any type of non-monarchy, non-fascist, non-totalitarianism, non-socialist. We are the longest living, surviving nation with an intact constitution. It's nothing to sneeze about. That is unreal. And yet, all of the mass media didn't pick up on it. The Washington Post ran a story about how all the fireworks is going to contribute to the pollution of the air. It happens every freaking day, right? Yeah, more pollution is put by all the cars in the country than than 38 minutes of fireworks. We really have our stuff backwards. Locally, had nothing. A couple of mentions, but that's about it. They really didn't celebrate. We have what, Pride, Gay Pride Month. We have Black Pride Month. Can't even take one day, just several hours, to celebrate the nation's 250th birthday. That's biting the hand that feeds you. That's unappreciative. And if it sounds like I'm bitching, this one is going to be a total bitch. That's me. Um, I'm upset, very upset. Hawaii, and they interviewed this guy because they were protesting the illegal takeover of the Hawaiian kingdom, which happened over 100 years ago, and these Hawaiians, they still protesting it. Get over it. It happened. Just like slavery. Get over it. It happened. It's happening today. We still got slavery today. Got worse slavery in Africa with blacks on blacks than in any time in America's history. Yet you don't hear nothing about that. Right. There are more blacks in slavery today than there have been any other time in history. And they're slaves under other blacks. Duh. Go figure. Go look, right? But what Hawaii doesn't realize is because we're democratic, we're anti-Trump. You know, we don't want the government. We want to change the government, but we want the government's money. You know, we don't need the government, but we want money. When President Trump killed the Department of Education, we were up in arms because of the budget cuts. But why? But they don't look at why he stopped it. And the reason why he stopped it was really simple. We give you money, but you tell us we can't tell you what to do with the money that we give you. You know, no, we cannot set the standards for our students. We cannot set basic standards. You tell us, give us the money and let us do it. And look at the terrible job you're doing because the federal government not getting its money's worth. It's paying all of these billions of dollars, and our kids are getting stupid and stupid and more stupid. Stupider, more ignorant. Anyway, we're falling down in the world, in education. And at one time, we were on the top, not anymore. And you listen to the unions, what the unions say. Oh, we need more money. We need more money. Give us more money, you get smarter kids. Or you get better education. No, you won't. No, you won't. And so President Trump saw that and he said, you know what? You want it, you do it on your own. You got it. Bite the hand that feeds you. That's all they do. Now, they're saying that they want Hawaiians to get back the lands, get back the kingdom. What's Hawaii going to be without federal money? We're going to be we're going to be just like American Samoa. And believe me, the people ain't going to like that. And what they're going to do, because once you go, you cannot go back. You cannot say we was wrong, we're going to do. Because if you go back and you grovel to the U.S. government, guess what happens? That's right. Pretty much almost slavery. They're going to tell you what to do, when to do it, and you're not going to like it. And, with the arrogance that our lawmakers, our leaders have, they won't go back to America. They'll let everything go down to just burn to the ground. They don't give a rat's patootie. Oh, it's so sad. And last night, like I said, the only station that would cover it, and it was beautiful. And like I said, that's a once in a lifetime. Truly, that is a once in a lifetime event. And not one station mentioned it. I went online this morning and MSN, the Microsoft, that page that comes out to let you know of all the current events. No mention. No mention whatsoever. And it's because it was a success. It wasn't a failure. What he said was going to happen, it happened. It was a beautiful event. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. And there's nothing that they can criticize. See, they only want to criticize. Well, people are tired of the negative. And that's all the Democrats get now. The negative. It's not, and the Republicans ain't no better. Republicans are not that better. If the Republicans were as together as the Democrats, man, this country would be flying for it. But they cannot because the Republicans, a lot of them, are just as dirty. Like I said, you don't listen to what they say. You watch what they do. Yeah, that's what I've learned in my, don't listen to these. Learn with these, with the eyes. We really have six senses. Okay? You got taste, you got touch, smell, hearing, sight, And the sixth and most important sense, common. The sense to use common sense and reason. Like the one that I always give out, the Emperor's New Clothes. If brother is bare ass bolo naked, he's bare ass bolo naked. And no matter what they tell you, but that's the spooky part. These people, there are people out there that actually believe he got clothes. Really. A lot of them. And a lot of people know he doesn't have clothes, but they don't have the balls to say so. And that's the thing with America. They stripped our courage. And last night, well, I didn't see it all. I saw the last hour before the fireworks because I really just wanted to see the fireworks. But, there was President Trump's speech, and he brought up, he brought up a 107-year-old person, veteran, 104-year-old veteran, 101-year-old veteran. I mean, God bless him, man. And one was still, and they brought up another man. He was still in his uniform. He still fits his sergeant's uniform, Marine Corps. Unreal. Unreal. But that, it gave me pride. It showed me a little bit of why I am proud to be an American. Like you guys know, I'm building my shed and everything. And I had decided I was going to fly an American flag yesterday. But unfortunately, when I went to Sam's Club, they had the flag. Just that the flagpole that they had, that thing looked just like chrome-plated plastic. It was that thin. It was that sad. And we have strong crosswinds. So I decided against getting a flag of that size. I'm going to go with a smaller flag, and I'm going to be hanging it in my garage on the wall, nicely displayed, like how it's supposed to be displayed, with the blue upper left-hand corner of the Union upper left-hand corner. That's how all flags should be displayed. On our uniforms, on your right arm, and the flag is backwards. And the ridiculous reason they give is because, when the person is going forward, it's going to appear that the flag is flying like that. No, that is a flag of display. You want the flag to go backwards, you put it on a banner and you walk with it. Then you'll see the thing go that way. But if it's on display, when you display a stationary flag at any time, blue upper left, and when it's vertical, blue upper left. You see? And these people that change it around, even a car maker did that. Jeep. The flag on the Jeep was backwards. And they say, oh, no, that's because of the motion. Tell them, no, it's you displaying the flag. If you want to fly the flag, you get just your antenna for your radio and you stick a flag to it, and then the flag, from depending on what side of the car you're on, you'll see what side of the flag, is the blue. Okay, that you cannot help. But when you display a flag, and that's what the flag on the uniform is for, it is to identify you as an American soldier. Not that you're coming or you're going or you're falling or you're rising. It's just to display that you are an American soldier. It's for display identification purposes only. See how backwards everything is? And they give you bullshit about, oh yeah, it's going to look that way. I don't know what idiot, and that's an idiot, made it so that it's supposed to be, and it shouldn't be. And our generals go along with it. Our military goes along with it. No, just put your foot. You got to draw lines. If you don't draw a line, the problems we get now, where people protesting the Constitution in the form of ICE, deportation. If you hear illegally, they go, an illegal person is not a criminal. What part of illegal you don't understand? If you're illegal, that means against the law. Unnatural means against nature. It's really simple. Don't complicate it. But like I told you, people love complications. The more complicated make it, the more they can change it to their way. Remember, I told you I walked into this mathematics theory class, and the professor showed that 1 plus 1 equals 3. Why? It made it very complicated. 1 plus 1 equals x. X equals 3. You can bend anything to do any way if you make it complicated enough. And what do I like to do? I like to kiss. So now now you see how hard it is. It's really easy to say. Keep it simple, stupid. Try it. Keep it simple. Unappreciative. Bite the hand that feeds you. But you don't know what you got until you lose it. There's a song like that. And it's true. You don't know what you got until you lose it. And by then, you can't go back. COVID, if this mRNA did anything to your RNA, now they're using that all over the place. That's going to be my talk next week too, about DNA. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. That was supposed to be this week's one, but when I started to see all these stations, and I watch, I go on the guide, the menu, and not one of them covered the biggest event, one of the biggest events in America's history. 250 years. That's the longest ever. I mean, you've had municipalities, you've had monarchies that go on hundreds of years. The same monarch, but that's a monarch. That's by birthright. Our nation is a federal republic. In other words, it's voted for. The people have the right to vote. Okay, and they use representation, leadership representation. That's the federal republic. We're not a socialist. We have private enterprise. We're not communists. We have private enterprise. We have religion. We have the right, for fee simple, for private ownership. Okay? We're not a fascist. We're not a kingdom. We're not a feudalism. We are a federal republic. Even the freaking Democrats, they keep saying democracy. We're not a democracy. Our forefathers intentionally did not make us a democracy. And you know why we're not a democracy? Is because you cannot trust the people, because the people are people. We're a herdal community. We don't evolve intellectually. We stay stupid. You get the people running to the right way, and you got the democracy. You got the mass. You got the majority. No matter how bad it is, they're going to vote for it. With the under federal republic, they're and see that's one of the catch-22s. They represent you. Okay? But they're supposed to do what you want them to, but then you get money and power over here telling them, no, you do this. So they vote for that. And then you got to wait until the next election, and people get short memory. And so they put the same people in. Look at like that Mitch McConnell. He's a Republican, but he's been in there for 40-something years, 41 years. No, I'm a firm believer. Number one, revise the Constitution. Number two, term limits. The president has term limits. Our forefathers never thought, because back when they were making the Constitution, there was no money in it. They did it as it was. They had to get back to their farms. But, they were willing to sacrifice a couple years here to handle the nation's businesses. Our nation was small. It was only 13 colonies. And, they didn't really have the, well, after the revolution, they didn't really have a lot of problems. It was nothing like today. That's why the they did put a a way to amend the Constitution. But I am firm belief they never would have dreamed of what we were going to become. This, this animal that the United States government has become. We were not supposed to hire the masses. We're not supposed to support the masses. As President Lincoln said, it's a government of the people, by the people. Yeah, and for the people. But it shouldn't hire the people. The people, it's not, like Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. And that is so true. That's why our forefathers saw the evil of a democracy. They saw Greece. Greece. I think Greece was one of the last democracies. And what happened? The thing got totally corrupted, and one emperor took over, Caesar. The big stick came in, and he took over, and you had a whole mess of Caesars, from Nero to Caligula to all of them. Caligula, yeah, to Julius, and yeah, I don't remember all the Caesars. I'm not that much of a history nut, but I know enough to know that a democracy will not work, not ever, unless you got a very intelligent and responsible population. It don't exist. Corruption is too, too enticing. Yeah. And look at the American, the American government today. It's enticing. It's corrupted. It is, and you know that. And once you go, I mean, Trump is really trying. He's trying everything, and I really believe he still has the majority of people behind him. But it's the corruption, and it's the vermin of the other side. And the Democrats are showing they're socialist, communist. I mean, they're everything anti-American. Yet they keep saying that they're behind democracy. Okay, fine, but democracy don't work, and we're not a democracy. Last night I had that talk with my wife, because my wife was going, "Well, what's wrong with that? With democracy?" And I told her, "No, we're not." I learned that in the third grade. I said, "I didn't read about it. I was taught that in the third grade." My third grade teacher, Mrs. DuPont, she said one day, "You know why you guys saying the Pledge of Allegiance every morning?" Because we used to stand, every day from kindergarten. You stand up, and then they play da 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 da, that song, as they raise the flag, and they'll do it in the afternoon when they lower the flag. But you stand up and you put your hand over your heart, your right hand over your left chest, because that's where your heart is, and you face the flag. If you're outdoors, you face the flagpole. If you're in class, you face the flag on the wall. And after the song was over, we said the Pledge of Allegiance. And we went over word line by line. I pledge allegiance to the flag. In other words, you pledge your loyalty to the flag of the United States of America, which is our country, and to the republic for which it stands. This flag is a symbol of this country. The country is a republic. Okay? And to the republic for which it stands. It is a representative form of government. That's the republic. It's a federal republic. So everybody does it. The whole country. Federal. One nation. Just one nation. The federal. Under God. Do I need to explain to you what that means? Indivisible. In other words, we're united. We're solid. We're not fragmented like today, with liberty and justice. Liberty is freedom. Justice is fairness for all. Really simple. Till today, I remember that. Okay? Till today. I learned that when I was 8 years old. And look at the Democrats. Well, in this democracy, what the hell are you talking about, Jack? There ain't a democracy, I don't think, on the planet. There is no nation that is a democracy. If I'm wrong, please tell me. Please. But I don't know of any. Because democracy just don't work. You know. And like I said, they bite the hand that feeds them. And if the Democrats ever take over, this is what I see is going to happen, okay? I'm going to be Nostradamus. Democrats take over, they're going to spend like you wouldn't believe. Change, change everything. Totally demolish our country. Stretch that dollar until the dollar breaks. Dollar breaks, boom, instant. Second world status, possibly third world status, depending on how torn up the dollar is. And then we're going to wallow for a few years in third world status. Now, the people want to get out of there. Here comes another government, and I'm not saying who, but with the power and with the money to say, hey, pick us and we can bring you up. Okay? They do. Still under the guise of a democracy. Democracy, they do. They bring in the new government. The new government comes in, and guess what? They want America. They got America. They don't want Americans. What becomes expendable? Americans. You want to talk about genocide, and who's going to stop them? If you got the power, you got the money to take over a country the size of America, you think any other country is going to stop you? Because if you that ruthless to genocide an entire nation, you're not going to think twice about doing it to another nation. And you're going to have the capabilities of doing it. Don't tell me that it's not true. You know what World War II, everybody says, oh, Hitler was bad, Hitler was terrible, Hitler was this, Hitler was that. You know that in World War II, Adolf was number 3. Yeah. As far as how many people he killed, he was number 3. Stalin was number 1. He killed the most. But he was one of the allies, so we cannot blame him. Number 2, Tojo, Japan. Japanese killed more people than Hitler. They killed the Manchurians. They killed the Chinese. They wiped out the Filipinos, the Thais, the Cambodians. They amassed over 20 million people they killed. Not to mention their warped medical experiments and, all kinds of stuff. The atrocities that the Japanese did, we don't hear about them. All we hear about is Hitler, fascist Hitler, Mussolini. Yet he was bottom of the list. How's that? Did you know that? See? Unappreciative. But that's my spiel for today. I'm sorry I was so down. I just want to, wish America happy 250, baby. Love you. And all of you out there, hope your July 4th. And I hope you change your ideas a little bit. And you get more American pride. Hey, President Trump is trying hard and we got to help every little bit. I'm hoping that this video helps. Starts you thinking. I just want to plant that seed. That's all. Just plant that virus and hope that virus grows. But like I said, tell your friends, You may not like what I say, but listen to what I say. I don't bullshit. I don't like the bullshit. I like to say that yeah, the emperor has no clothes. And wait till next week is gonna be fun too. Yeah, but yeah, um, hope your week's great. And until then, ahui ho, malama pono, and always from me to you, from my heart to yours, aloha. Take care, love you, and love each other. Bye bye.